I never thought I would share this story, but it has been on my heart for a long time. My relationship with my mother-in-law, Isabella, was anything but ordinary. They were not like most mother-in-law relationships. Ours was different, more complicated, and sometimes exciting in ways that surprised me. I often think back to how it started, and how something so innocent gradually grew into something much more intense. When I first met Isabella, I was nervous about trying to make a good impression. My future wife, Alessia, had warned me that her mother was outspoken and confident. She didn't know how to hold back her opinions and could be intimidating. But what she didn't warn me about was that Isabella had a magnetic presence. She possessed the kind of charisma that could fill an entire room. Elegant, confident, beautiful in a way that was impossible to miss. She had a knack for making you feel like you were the only person in the room. There was so much power in her eyes that everything else seemed to fade. It was easy at first. We got along well. Isabella appreciated that I treated Alessia with love and respect. She would wink at me at the dinner table, pat me on the shoulder in passing, and tease me lightly. It all seemed innocent enough, and I took it as a sign that I had earned her approval. Alessia liked that we got along so well. She even joked sometimes that I was more her mother's son than her boyfriend. We found common ground easily, and it made family get-togethers enjoyable. I thought it would always be like that, a friendly, affectionate relationship. But things started to change when Alessia went on a business trip for a month. She had an opportunity to go abroad that she couldn't refuse, and I encouraged her to go. I offered to help Isabella with the house repairs while Alessia was away, nothing serious, fixing a leaky faucet, changing a few light bulbs and the like. Alessia was worried about her mother being alone, and I figured it was the least I could do. It seemed harmless at the time, but looking back, I realized it was the beginning of something that took me by surprise. One evening, after finishing some minor repairs, Isabella invited me to stay for dinner. It was a casual invitation, and I accepted without a second thought. We cooked together, laughing as we moved around the kitchen. The wine flowed freely and our conversation grew deeper. We talked about everything: her life before she had children, her dreams, her regrets, and I talked about my childhood, the challenges I faced, and my hopes for the future. It was the kind of laughter and sharing that breaks down barriers, making you feel closer, almost like soulmates who have known each other forever. That night, everything changed. We were sitting side by side on the couch in our living room. The lights were dimmed and there was a cozy silence between us. I felt her hand on mine and it was like a spark. It wasn't a deliberate movement, rather it was a natural shift in our connection, like two magnets drawn to each other. I looked at her, she looked at me, and before I knew it, we were kissing. It wasn't planned, it was natural, as if it was meant to happen at this very moment. It was both exciting and scary at the same time. We knew we shouldn't do it. We didn't talk about it afterward, and I hoped it was just a one-time slip-up, but it wasn't. In the weeks that followed, while Alessia was away, there was an undeniable tension between us. It was like an unspoken understanding, a secret we shared. Occasionally this tension would ease, and we would find ourselves back in each other's arms. It wasn't just physical attraction, but emotional intimacy, a bond that felt like it belonged to another life, a parallel universe where we weren't family but something else entirely. One afternoon I came over to help with the work in the garden. The sun was shining brightly and we worked side by side, chatting about everyday tasks. Then she looked up at me, and there was something in her eyes: vulnerability, longing. I held out my hand, but she didn't pull away. We found ourselves in the shade of the garden, hidden from view, and shared a moment as tender as it was forbidden. It was as if we were caught in a whirlwind, knowing it couldn't last, but unable to stop. Eventually it had to end. Alessia returned, and reality set in. Isabella and I silently agreed that it was over. We both knew it couldn't go on, it would hurt too many people we loved. Yes, the guilt was there, but some part of me missed the connection Isabella and I had, the excitement and intimacy. It wasn't love, not like the love I felt for Alessia, but it was something important to me, and I believe to her. There are moments when we catch each other's gaze across the room, and something flickers in it, a memory, an unspoken recognition of something that bonded us. Now we pretend nothing happened. Family dinners are back to polite conversation and playful teasing, and if you didn't know better, you'd think everything was perfectly fine. But sometimes when Alessia speaks, I catch Isabella's gaze, and something flickers in it, a hidden memory that we both know will always be there. It's strange to carry a secret that will always bind us together, even if we never speak of it again. I'm not proud of what happened, but I can't deny it either. It's just part of our history, Isabella, Alessia, and me. A story that no one will ever fully know. There are moments when I wonder if she thinks about it too, late at night when the world goes quiet. I wonder if she remembers the laughter, the closeness, and the thrill of the forbidden. It's a part of my life that will always remain in the background, a chapter that can't be erased but also can't be shared. It's complex and intricate and real, and maybe that's why it meant so much, even if it was fleeting.